Love that intro. Hey, everybody, this is Doc T. Welcome back. Dr. David over here. Hey. Dr. J over here. We're going to start off this podcast, a little debrief of the weekend festivities that these two took place in. Hit us off, Dr. J.
Yeah, so shout out to Fitness on Fire for including us in their 10-year grand reopening. It's powered by Lululemon. Awesome event. They did a couple demo workouts, had raffles, prizes. And it was an incredible event. There was a big turnout, which is always good. One thing that just always blows me away about that gym is their commitment to community. Yeah. They always say everybody loves everybody. Mm-hmm. And they always start every workout with introducing yourself to someone that you don't know. Mm-hmm. And which creates a really nice and welcoming environment. Yeah. And that's really all I got. It's a great community.
Well, I'll say something.
Again, like shout out for 10 years, 10 years in business, made it through COVID. Like a lot of gyms shut down during COVID, and they made it through. And I think a big part of that is their community that they built there.
I will really say, cool. You guys, when I came by in the setup part, after they were set up, of course, timing is everything. But I did bring Celsius. You did bring the
oh, we got to story about that.
Brought the blood juice of the gods. So you guys mentioned to me when I was there, they like the community and they're really about kind of including everyone there. Yeah. Because it was fascinating when you work these events. When I was, 20 years ago, you show up and you're trying to get the best spot. You're hoping there's not too many other therapists there or doctors there. Just kind of you. So you got to, you have everything. And my first thought was like, it's cool because not every client is perfect for us as we're not perfect for them. We talked about that fit before where it's so important that you and your doctor are on the same page. Here it's like, no, you get to meet 5 different doctors and find the one that you click with. Yeah. Yep. Talk about a relationship. And I was like, that's fantastic because you're not wasting anybody's time. Yeah. Like you're going to find somebody you guys click with or you will and away we go. I really dug that. A really cool way to do it.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was fun being in that environment. Like Justin was saying, they're really big on community. So much so to the point where what I love about Fitness on Fire is that to me, in terms of those types of gyms, they literally take everyone. There wasn't like one look to that gym. There's people that have really high experience levels with training and working out and people that are just getting in, but they're all kind of taking the same classes and they're together doing it as a unit and that everyone's supporting each other rather than, the random trash talk that I would do at my other gyms.
I definitely come from a different gym.
Yeah. So I was like, oh wait, this is kind of cool. So for someone that's just coming into that scene, it's a great area to start out in. And speaking of the Celsius, that was a funny story. When Doc T came by, first of all, he was really hyped about seeing everything set out.
Oh,
so much so where he almost jumped into a workout.
Oh, it's tempting. Yeah, I didn't have to leave.
Which would have been hilarious because I also know Doc T. He probably would have just done a different workout in the midst of everyone, but also switch stations. That would have been great. But needless to say, he brought by some Celsius for us. It was a 6:30 a.m. start. Well, like more like 7.
Yeah, 7:30.
Stick with 6:30. It sounds better.
Yeah. I mean, it's
the alarm clock went off at like 6:30 something, right? So let's start there.
So we started there. We're setting up. We're barely functioning, just making sure everything's together. So we need some caffeine at that time. We also kind of forgot that Celsius was also a sponsor of this event. So as you brought it, I see Carly. Shout out Carly, you're great. She walks by and I'm like, I'm just taking the Celsius off the table, putting it away. I'm like, yeah, we're not stepping on your toes on this one here. But yeah, shout out to Carly. She gave us a case of Celsius.
Love that.
It's great.
It lasts at least the weekend.
Keeps us alive here. I also got to meet Brian from Prime Fuel with what they basically do is just meal preps. And for me, that's a really big thing, trying to get your protein intakes and your macros all together. And the problem that I usually have with meal preps is that they don't really taste that great, right? Dude, like
unreal.
I'm not gonna mention
really
anything,
good.
but there's somewhere I'm like, you're definitely just trying to make the business out of this. It's not that great. Theirs tastes fantastic.
Really good.
Yeah, they gave us a plate. They slipped by, just dropped off a plate while we were treating some people. And then me and Justin took a bite of I think it was their chimichurri steak. And we're like, oh crap, this is good. So
nice.
Like it's tender, it's flavorful. Yeah. It's what you want, especially in a beef product.
100%. Yeah. And they're local to the Orange County area. So look up Prime Fuel and Brian will help you out there.
Yeah, and we get nothing for saying that, by the way.
We just love your stuff.
We just like, when we find something we like, we definitely want to promote it because it's just good stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, nothing else really behind it. Mm-hmm. Although I would love to have a machine here at Celsius, and that'd be cool too. Oh my God.
Carly, you hear it?
Anyway, all right, cool. That was great. That's awesome. It was a fun event. You did connect with somebody.
Yep.
But unfortunately, go ahead. You can tell the story.
Yeah, so there's one person that came up a little stressed out by some knee pain. Wasn't sure. She has a kinesiology background, so of course she knows kind of what's in the area. And she's like, I'm worried maybe it's a meniscus, maybe it's a MCL. I'm like, okay, well first let's just take a quick look about how you move. And I looked at her squat. Squat looks okay. A little wobbly, but whatever, it's fine. Let's look at the lunge. Forward lunge, one knee, real shaky, so unstable. The other side, nice and strong. I'm like, cool. I know a little bit more now what's kind of going on. I hit 3 muscles, pain was gone. And it was just I was happy that I was able to ease her mind a little bit because a structural injury like that can be a little bit scary.
Yeah,
for sure.
But just by being able to hit 3 muscles, kind of take that stress off of her, that like it's not something structural. It's something that I can work through. Mm-hmm. And if I can find somebody that can help, it's one of those patients that got in before it got so bad that it was affecting her day.
Yeah, before she became the crisis patient.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So fortunately, she's from out of town, but it's one of those things where like we know like what we can do can help, and so I told her to go online and look for like a specific provider that did a specific service, mm-hmm. and that's one of those things where you let a patient walk for the betterment of them.
Yeah, you're helping them out.
Yeah.
I mean, you work events like that. You're obviously trying to get clients, trying to connect with somebody, for sure. But sometimes it just doesn't work out. Yeah. And so if you can at least help them out, I just call that good karma. My wife believes in this, I believe in it. You put it out there, it's going to come right on back.
Yep.
So hopefully she finds somebody that can help her out too and get her on the right road. But
definitely.
So those are, it's funny how you work those events and you just connect with the most random people.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have people I've talked to, 20 years now from work events like that. They're just, I don't see them.
Yeah.
But we stay in contact and chat and talk. 100%. So, yeah, that's cool.
That happens all the time. Just because, like, we also do, like, the SoCal weightlifting stuff with the Spring Classics.
Yep.
I think the last time we did it, well, it was great. We enjoyed every single second of it. It was fun to be in that environment. But, like, 90% of the people that we saw, Las Vegas, right? Yeah. We're Orange County.
Dude, yeah.
So it's like, if you want to stop by when you're in town, cool. We'll make it happen. But also at the same time, we're always patient first. So we're not going to make you come fly down.
I'm going to make this an educational moment for you guys. Yep. When you have 90%, I know you're exaggerating, but a big group, you just simply tell them to fly you out once a week, plop down a table, and go to work for the day.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you fly them back. It's an easy 45-minute flight. I've actually done that a couple times. Yep. I've actually flown someplace where a group was, where it was in Northern California, worked on them, flew back down. Yeah. Didn't last real long, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
But like, I think that's the difficulty of like working those events. But I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I enjoy it. I'm learning more about, that population, but also like we're always a part of it. Like you specifically are a part of a Fitness on Fire too. Mm-hmm. So jumping into that world as the doctor now is a little bit different, but I'm pretty sure you enjoyed doing that as well.
Yeah, it's great. Like being able to see the people that I work out with, and then they see me in in a different capacity.
Work mode.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's actually the funnest part. So I noticed this years ago when I started working these events. I actually enjoyed it because I love being at the gym. Mm-hmm. If I could hang out at the gym, I'd just hang out at the gym. Yeah. Which my first office when I was younger was a gym, so there you go, right? But you get to watch these athletes. Like I've seen stuff at powerlifting competitions, Olympic lifting competitions, and I'm just like, how big CrossFit, of course, you got some freaky athletes at some of the CrossFit events. You're just watching, like I had one guy with a 45-pound vest on climb a rope with just his hands.
What?
12 feet in the air and come back down. I was like, okay, yep, that was impressive.
Yep.
So that's kind of the fun part of doing it too. So plus you need to meet good people, good community. Yeah, it's always fun. Like-minded people anyway.
For sure.
All right. So
one thing.
We got more.
Couple shout outs before we move on.
For sure.
A couple more shout outs. Shout out Dough by Demi, new small business owner. She makes all sourdough. I believe it's all sourdough products. Yep. If it's not, sorry, but it's all homemade, good stuff.
No junk.
Yeah, no junk. But it's cool to support other small businesses, and she just started working, and I've heard nothing but great things. And her products were super tasty. So shout out to Dough by Demi. Check her out on Instagram. And then shout out to Lululemon. So how we talked about a little bit my night job. My night job is I receive inventory for Lululemon. And some of my old managers were there. So shout out Lisa, shout out Yuki, the community specialist. Lisa, Yuki, and shout out Molly. It was great to reconnect with you guys, and hopefully we can reconnect in the future and help you guys out, help out your educators and your people your customers, your guests.
Talk about that. It's funny because you also got to see them see you in your real job.
Oh yeah, they had no idea like what I was doing. They're like, you do that? I'm like, yeah. I told you guys I was a chiropractor by day.
I promise you, I was a bartender, so that was my joke all the time.
Yeah.
People out there, the kind of just the mainstream, why would they grasp really what we do? Like when you truly break down from discovery call to, plan of care to end of plan of care to maintenance plans.
Yeah.
It's just such a world we live in that we grasp. It's normal to us.
Yeah.
But when you explain it to others, the look on their face, I'm like, oh, it's like that aha moment, which I don't know what you guys, when I see somebody click, I'm like, all right, we're on the same page. Let's go. It's so much fun. Yeah, it's so cool. So yeah, that's awesome for you. Yeah, it's a good feeling. It's weird. I had a few when I was bartending, had a few people come and see me as a doctor. And then that night I go see them as their bartender and their servers. That's funny. Just kind of like, it's two different hats you got to wear, but
That's funny. That's funny. Before we go on, I know we mentioned Fitness on Fire, but also Josh and Heidi, thanks for having us out.
For sure.
They've always been great to us. Even just when we were first starting doing the events and everything like that. So we thank you for the support. Thank you for just even inviting us. And we always look forward to working with you guys in the future too. But yeah, speaking of night jobs, valet stuff too. So I valet. The amount of people that have gotten out of the car make some sounds, and I'm like, I know a guy. You want to meet him?
Almost want to take your business card and leave it in the car.
It's always funny, but
I don't know if that's an ethical.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
But it might be frowned upon.
Sometimes it can just fall out of your pocket. I mean, things have happened that are stranger than that.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny. It just struck me as you were saying that because we work at a lot of gyms in the area.
Yep.
And we work events at any of the gyms that ask, only because we're trying to provide service and help people because people really don't know we exist.
Oh yeah.
Like our mantra here is we never want to hear, I wish I would have found you sooner. So literally we're trying to put ourselves in as many places as possible so that statement never crosses our ears again.
Yeah.
And so with the gyms, people have asked me in the past, how do you work with so many gyms, and do gym owners, are they concerned? And say, no. Our job isn't to steal clients from one gym to the other. It's just basically we want to get these people healthy, send them back to their gym. That's their family. That's where they should belong. We're happy there, right?
Yeah.
So that's how we work with so many gyms and kind of keep the balance. We're not here for any other reason than to help them succeed at whatever it is that they're doing at whatever gym they're at. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the fun of it all too. And gyms have over the years, they tend to attract, like with Fitness on Fire, if you're an Olympic lifter, you may want to go to SoCal weightlifting because you want to be in an Olympic gym where they do that.
Yeah.
Like you see us, you want to come to doctors that are sports based, rehab based. That's what you're after. We're the guys see. If you just want to get adjusted and that's it, we're probably not the right fit for you. No problem. We can do it. For sure. We're actually really good at it too. No offense to anybody else, but we're pretty good. But we want to do more.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. So, all right, moving on. We got a case study from Dr. J here we're following up on from a few weeks ago, I think. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this patient came in to me with some right-sided low back pain. It happened after a workout. I believe the exercise was a clean.
Oof, I love those.
And yeah, so he pulled, and that's when he felt it.
Yeah.
And stopped, shut it down, and he waited a few days, wasn't getting better. He was referred to us by another person that goes to that gym, and I was lucky enough to be able to field his case. So coming in, the pain's not that bad, but the big thing for him was that it was affecting his sleep. And it was very specific, that it was waking him up at a very specific part of the night, which always, I wouldn't say always, kind of raises your ears a little bit, but that's something that is, it's not usual. It's unusual. There's also a history of cancer. And
actually, real quick before we get there.
Yeah.
What he means by that, just kind of thinking myself in my mind, what would somebody out there be thinking? It's not pain waking you up at night when you have pain or problems. That's not unusual. That does happen.
Yeah.
It's when it's consistently at the same time frames.
Yes.
Like all the time it happens this way versus 2 a.m., 4 a.m., get out of bed in the morning kind of thing. So just so when you're out there, don't worry if you have your pain wakes you up. First, you need to call us. But 2, don't go down the rabbit hole. But this one is unique because of the history.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. So like I said, history of cancer. So we want to dive in to that a little bit. And after a conversation, we both felt that it wasn't the main driver of the pain, just because of the natural history of what it was. It was taken care of. He had a recent checkup. Everything was all good. So I felt like this case was purely orthopedic. If we got nowhere in a couple visits, then let's get a picture taken and let's see. Just make sure we cover all of our bases, because that's the last thing I want. That, like, I think it's orthopedic and I'm treating him. Everything should be working. It's not. Turns out there was a metastasis and I missed it.
Yeah.
So just again, not to cut you off.
Sure.
Everybody out there, when we talk about our plan of care, why we're different, how we're different, what have you, the reason that comes into play is our expectations of ourselves with you is to see improvement literally each and every visit. I don't expect you to walk in on visit 6 or 4 the way you walked in on visit 1. Yeah. So when we do this and we all talk and we all hold each other the same expectations as you should to your doctor, if you're into somebody 2 or 3 times and not getting, and I'm not saying like you can move better but you still have pain. Well, that's good. I have less pain but I still feel stiff. That's still good. We're aiming in the right direction. Same pain, same like literally nothing has changed from the time you leave the office to the time you come back. Then he's doing the right thing. You've got to go deeper because you're missing something.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's very, very, hats off to you, sir.
And just to add on top of that.
No, you're done.
I'm sorry. I'll mute
Where's
myself.
the mute button? I'm just kidding.
But yeah, just to add on top of that, what's the beauty about this office is that we have multiple doctors looking at stuff. So I remember when the intake form came in, I think you kind of threw something by me.
That looks a little funny.
Yeah, you kind of threw something by me, and I was like, okay, I'll take a look. And then saw history cancer, saw the age of the patient, saw that waking up at night. I'm like, hey, we should probably, before we do anything about talking about plan of cares and everything like that, dive into that before it becomes a problem.
And that's like a yellow flag, not a red flag, but it's a yellow flag.
Cautious.
Yeah,
because of the specific type of cancer that he was like not complaining of, but has a history of, does have a propensity to metastasize to the low back. So before we even went down, like, is this an orthopedic case? We just wanted to make sure that was fine first before we do
100%.
do that.
100%.
Yep. So I go through my orthopedic testing. We were able to recreate the pain, which is good. SLR negative. Check movement at the hip. The hips, they moved okay, but not great. But also keep in mind, like, someone who's a little more, who's a little older, they're not going to move how they did when they were in their 20s, 30s, 40s. It's going to be a little bit different. But yeah, so the big thing was that I was able to recreate the pain. And so, like, now let's go to work. And so I work on him, give him his first rehab exercises. He feels good walking out. Perfect. I'm going to see him in a couple days. And he's like, yeah, I felt good for, I don't know, about like maybe a day and a half, and then started to creep back in. I woke up this morning and a little earlier than I would have liked to. It's that same time. I was like, okay, keep an eye on it. Keep doing my thing. And he walks out feeling good. Next visit comes around. And he's like, yeah, same thing.
36 hours and back.
Yeah, okay. It's about 2 to 3 days, and he's the pain's back. He's waking up at night. I'm like, okay, let's dig a little deeper. And so again, like what you were saying, like the beauty about this office, we have so many providers and different perspectives. When I was able to explain what was going on, I was able to get a tip on what muscles to hit in a certain order and see how he does. Oh, and the rehab exercises. There's a tip on the rehab exercises, and when he came back the following visit after that certain protocol, it was night and day difference. Nice. Pain was gone, sleeping through the night, sleeping great. He tracks his sleep with his Apple Watch, even though it's not like a gold standard per se. No, it's a consistent measurement over time, and if we can get a consistent measurement over time, whether it's so many percentage points wrong or right. It's something that is
it's consistent.
It's one thing that is consistent.
Yeah, even if there's a plus or minus, at least there's some baseline there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
good.
So now he's able to go through his workouts still a bit modified. There's a little bit of a, I feel like more of a fear avoidance. Doesn't want to...
That's going to be good, though.
Yeah. Doesn't want to aggravate it. And so he's really easing himself back in.
Smart.
But it's something that he's out of town right now. But when he comes back, that's something that I want to focus on and be like, hey, we can load your back and we can load your core and your legs and you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I think that's something about our office that is unique in regards to the mainstream therapist or the in-network therapist, is that they're going to treat the symptoms and that's kind of it. They look at you as a symptom problem, where now you're an entire athlete. We need to look at how you move, what hurts, and get you confidence back to know that your body is resilient enough to be able to fight through pain and stiffness and be okay.
Yeah. And the thing with the coming back slowly, the reason that is because when you go through an injury and have pain, you basically compensate, right? Now, nobody knows what that compensation is going to look like. There's no predictive value. It's like, I sprained my ankle, I'm going to limp, but that doesn't say what the side that's holding you up now is doing, what muscles are working, blah, blah. So when you're getting back in, it's not just about now your pain's gone and now you have some stiffness or tightness. Let's get back in the gym. You still have the bad movement pattern from prior. That doesn't go anywhere. So you have to go back in a nice systematic way where you're trying to set up the system in the body to function and work the way it's supposed to again. Neuro repatterning, we call it. Make sure everything, autonomic system, everything is doing its job before you start loading it. The tricky part with the spine, as a guy who blew out a disc and remember that stuff well, there are a bunch of little muscles inside on the spine, transversarii, inversarii, multifidii. There's a list of them. Those little suckers will atrophy and can be gone forever if you are not careful. That's what makes the low back. When somebody has low back pain, and the reason, other than they're probably goofy like me and keep doing dumb stuff, they keep having pain chronically over life because those areas haven't been addressed.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the piece that everyone wants to rush you back in the gym. Like our clients are, connected to wanting to go work out for emotional, mental, physical reasons.
Yep.
So we have to do so much work to try to go, okay, guys, you got to I know you feel good, but please don't go do back squats tomorrow at 300 pounds. Yeah. We got to get the spine active again. And so we do a really good job, I think, of managing those expectations initially, showing them where they're weak or defunct, breathing patterns, core firing patterns, rotational patterns, whatever the issue is. But we hold them to that standard of getting better in all pieces, not just pain mitigation.
No.
If pain is your only guide, you'll have a lifetime client for sure, and they'll never actually get better. Yeah. But you'll get pain mitigation done, which is not great because then that turns into a serious problem. You know what I mean? So that's good work. The hard part with a patient like this is going to be that they're going to go off to do something. They're going to come back saying, I tweaked it again. I'm like, what'd you do? And they'll tell you, and your mouth's going to drop, and you're like, because for this one, this is harder than a normal low back case. There are so many other variables that are kind of playing a role in here. Yep. You have to constantly keep your mind on that, like just check in. Yeah. So you out there, when you get done, and pain's gone, take Advil. Doesn't mean you can go play again. You got to make sure some of the stuff's fixed up. But anyway, yeah. So I almost want to ask, but I'm not going to. Yeah. We're not going to give away the source of said information. But anyway, it's funny. So when you get into, people ask, like he was very cryptic with that. A certain, the reason we do that is because every case is different. And the one thing that frustrates us is when somebody comes in and says, oh, I did it because my buddy did it. We call that the bro science deal. Nothing fits two different bodies the same. It just doesn't work. So when we do these protocols, we don't want to talk about it because that was specific to that patient. Yeah. And I've utilized them a few in my past, had some good luck with them. I've actually had not good luck with them. Yeah. So it's more of, let's make sure these protocols work. And if they don't, move on. And if they're not working as well as you like, then you're missing something. And we're honest with the patients. Like I can't tell my patients, I'm missing something here. Something's not clicking because you're on visit 4 and you still have a little bit of pain left and you should. So, yeah.
That is a big thing because there's a lot of times where I'll see a patient see something on like an Instagram reel or a TikTok. Just like, try this for a little bit.
Social media, basically.
Right? Which I understand for the platform, what you're trying to do, it makes sense. But it doesn't mean that pain should be the driver of what exactly you're doing for your rehab. It should be like, how are you doing it is the big problem.
And are you doing the right thing?
Yeah. So,
I mean,
could they be the right answers up there free on Instagram? Absolutely. They could be there. But...
And you could play darts in the dark with your eyes closed and hit the bullseye.
Yeah, 100%.
1 out of 100.
It doesn't mean that these guys are the gurus of that. Right? No. It just means that we should probably take a deeper dive. Like, if we didn't do that thing in the beginning and it was a cancerous thing, that's on us. Right? Yeah.
That's a big miss.
That's a really big miss.
That's a whiff, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you really... I'm like this social media... I'm just going to say it. I'm the dum-dum. I just don't get it. So I'm reading stuff on it. I'm trying to teach myself and educate. Yeah. But the bottom line is, it's not quality of content. Mm-hmm. It's an emotional response. And so you get people in there, like I have a guy that I follow, a trainer, known for specific body parts and development. Great guy. Love him. He went on and posted a kind of a phone call he had with a good friend of his. Not a good friend, a peer, if you will. Yeah. But this peer goes on social media and tries to debunk everything the other guy does. The other guy has a PhD, 25 years in 2 clinics. He knows what he's doing when it comes to this, right? Yeah. And he doesn't mince words. Like, I'm not trying to fix your low back pain. I'm not trying to fix your leg pain. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to help you develop this one body part. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's clean and simple. And so this guy was bashing him, and he called him up and said, "What's going on?" He says, "I have to. You have the market cornered on this topic. Yeah. The only way I'm going to get people to notice me is if I contradict you." Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, once again, the clients out there who are watching this and see that and maybe believe it are now going to not do what might have been very beneficial for them because somebody just said it's not good. Yeah. And I always laugh when I talk to people, where do you get this, where do you get that? Got it from internet, ChatGPT, Google, whatever. And I say, has that internet machine ever seen you move? Like when we were at the event this weekend, right? Mm-hmm. That girl, if you were talking to her on the phone and you said, okay, do a lunge, what'd your knee do? She has no idea what it bent. Like, I don't know what to tell you, right? Yeah. But when you get to watch her do that, you've picked off 3 muscles in 5 minutes and her pain was gone. Yeah. That was because you looked at her, watched her, talked with her, and you knew exactly where to go. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't happen all the time, of course.
Not all the time. No. We wish seriously, God. The whole business model would be different.
We truly are trying to work ourselves out of a job. Yeah. That is our MO. We want everybody so fixed and so fabulous and doing wonderful that we're just like, I guess we can do something else now. Yeah. That is literally the goal. Mm-hmm. But that's the kind of thing that, it's just, and it's not knocking anything because we have a presence and you're doing that. And, we do this podcast to inform people and say thank you to people and just be educational for people to understand. Just be careful. Yeah. When you see something on there, I had one guy, this is what I was rolling my eyes at. He went through, not going to name names, but it was a modality for treating stiffness and tightness. Okay. He did this modality and blew out his disc. Ooh. Because he already had a bulge and SLR for us in our office. We'd have flat out real fast. Stop stretching. Yeah. Leave this sucker alone and let it heal. Instead, so those are the things. That machine you're punching this into has never seen you, never assessed you, diagnosed you, watched you move, nothing. Yeah. So it is literally a blind man in a room playing darts. Yeah. So
I always hate using pain as the guider for my treatment. Yeah. It just gives me a level where we are on some
Well, first of all, it tells you something's wrong.
Yeah, something's wrong.
That's it. Good.
It doesn't mean that's the tissue that's hurt.
How many people have you worked on where they come in, remember the girl, the soccer player, female, 15-year-old?
But that one was funky.
Yeah, has a right, quad, hip flexor-ish strain presentation. Her left side was the problem. Mm-hmm. Right side had nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Literally dealing with it right now with the patient. Yeah. Yeah. Left-sided hip pain, but the problem's on the right side.
Yeah. And as you work with them and assess them, you're like, I hear what you're saying, but do you see what I'm seeing? Yeah. And the patient's like, yeah, it makes no sense. In my head, I'm like, it makes perfect sense, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah. And then you start working on the other side. They say, Doc, the pain's on the other side. I'm like, sure. Hold on a second. Finish up, stand up, show me it hurts again. Doesn't hurt. Yep.
Yeah. So the biggest thing to take away from that.
No. And I looked at it, I go, this is one specific. I go, okay, now lay it down. Let me work this. And let me see your arm real quick. I literally went, okay, go ahead and stand back up. Still doesn't hurt. Okay, good. Because I touched the area of pain. I had a good relationship with him. Yeah. But I was joking with him, like, see, it has nothing to do with it.
100%. Yes. We're the filters for you guys. Like, there's a lot of good information out there. There's also a lot of bad information out there.
And you got to remember the reason that information is up there, it's vying for attention, right? And we just need to get attention. Mm-hmm. So if we're going to get attention and we need to figure out how to get attention, it doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to give you the best product. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like some people out there, we like Celsius. Some people don't. Yeah. You're allowed.
Yeah,
we have one of our associates / interns. I'm not really sure what Sam is anymore. He's just bouncing around here in the universe. Yeah. Love you, Sam, if you're out there. My man can knock down some, was it monsters?
Monsters, yeah.
That's his favorite.
I'm afraid he's just going to just melt or fall apart, or arms and limbs are going to fall off of me.
My favorite thing that he did in the office with the monsters, I'm sorry, Sam, I'm going to bring this one up. He came in, he's like, bro, I have a headache. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, hey, drink some water. I'll check some of the muscles.
Water. Yeah, water.
Because he drinks a lot of monsters. Like, hey, we should probably hydrate a little bit.
There's water in the monster. I'm like, no, there's not. I honestly don't think there's any ingredient there with water.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
But yeah, I was like, hey, let's drink some water. I'll check your neck to see if it's cervicogenic or anything. Or, hey, you're probably just having a bad day. We'll just work on a couple things. And then as we're talking, I hear him open up one, takes a sip. He was like, my headache's gone. I'm like, okay, well.
Okay, so I'm going to put my soapbox in this one real quick. Yeah. That's what we should say when we're going to just prepare everybody. We're soapboxing this. Just strap in for a second.
We'll just sit back.
I'm going to roll. The caffeine to headache combination, 99% of the time is not the combination. It's the chemicals that you're putting in the coffee that's causing the problem. Not many people, you, me, do you drink coffee?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I don't think we've ever asked that.
I do drink coffee.
I know you do, but I got your coffee pot.
Yeah,
coffee,
it's great. Love it.
So we do the coffee pot in the office. It's one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
If I walk in, I'm like, oh, it's going to be a good day. Oh, yeah. I mean, we do live Celsius, but sometimes it's a nice
when it's cold out, it's a little rainy.
Especially chilly, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hot, especially with a random fog in the middle of June. Like, oh, hey, with fog. Great. Anyway, coffee. So the caffeine. So really, it's the chemicals that you put in there. Starbucks is known for this stuff they put in the drink, not so much the caffeine itself. Now, that being said, some people are more susceptible to the caffeine product, for sure. But I tend to tell patients, before you ditch the caffeine, because I like caffeine, try drinking 1 glass of water with every cup of coffee. And if you can offset that caffeine, 9 times out of 10, that headache's gone. Yeah. And then, of course, you work on them and fix it and then smack them upside the head for drinking so much Monsters. Not knocking Monster, but I'm talking like 2 or 3 cans a day.
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting for him to come in with a case for the day.
Yeah.
And just...
Yeah, when he graduated, we got him a couple of Monsters as a gift. I remember that.
I feel like that's like giving the drug addict drugs.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is. Just caffeine, technically. But, yeah, we love him, though. We had to tell that story.
So, all right.
Yeah, we got
talk about a sidebar. Back to your patient.
Yep.
So, doing well?
Doing well.
When's last time you saw him?
A couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So he's an out-of-towner.
Okay.
And he's on like kind of a vacation right now. He went home to check on a few things, and then they were gonna kind of drift their way back down to California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that time of year travel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the snowbirds.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Funny. All right, so that's what we get. So the low back thing, that's what we're talking about. You got to dig a little deeper. I love the case study. Yeah, it's always fun. I got nothing else for you guys today.
Well, in terms of like digging deeper, the same time you had a patient that was a little older, I had a patient that was younger. So less than...
When you say older, how old older? How old is this guy?
68.
Got it.
Yeah, my patient that kind of came in around the same time was age 9. So it's
there you go.
That one.
Oh, yeah.
It's that one. So after we were having that discussion about, hey, we should probably check a little deeper, Justin kind of looked at my patient. He's like, hey, we should probably check deeper on that one. He's less than 10 years old, really sharp knee pain. That shouldn't go together, right? So did a couple tests, making sure everything was good. At first, my working diagnosis, just because I have this as well, Osgood Schlatters, which is common in that the age group in terms of where his knee pain was, right? He's also a hockey player, so he was working on a couple things here and there. And he had a couple tournaments, and it just happened to be playoff time, so he's playing way more than he needed to. And his knee was basically a wreck at that point. So I was doing
he was limping.
Yeah, he was limping. Yeah. Did some palliative stuff with him, helped him, really get going. And the hardest part, with working with a kid with what we do, is it's not comfortable. No. So to keep him on the table without, going too much for him was a challenge. But we were able to help some stuff out.
And this kid did not like me within 30 seconds. He's like, where's Dave? Where's Dr. Oh, Dr. Dave. I don't like you. I was like, I know you, kid. I know your parent. What are you talking about? You don't like me. Yeah.
But yeah. So I got the pleasure to work with him, and for whatever reason, he loves and trusts me. So we're doing great.
You guys are closer in age.
Yeah. That's probably.
I'm dad. You're like little brother. Or big brother, I guess.
Yeah. We're about the same height at this point. He's a tall kid. Yeah, I'm not that tall. So
it's really funny when somebody younger than you is taller than you like that much. You're like, this sucks.
Yeah. Right. But back to that story there. He got done with his tournaments, and then I was probably thinking, okay, we'll still do all the palliative stuff first, because they said it was a heavier day that day. So we just needed to calm down the knee, and it was a little swollen. So just did the stuff that we're going to do and did a little bit more of an exam. But I barely touched his knee or the muscles around it, and he was jumping off the table.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not...
He exaggerates a little, but it's still, there's truth to that exaggeration.
So I thought it was like the first one, and like, hey, let's kind of work through it. But no, it wasn't changing, right? And at this point, for all the palliative care that I was doing, it was probably more like 2-3 weeks or whatever. Like, he was progressing, but obviously he'd play a tournament, so it kind of...
Yeah. And you got to remember, I mean, we talk about this all the time. Yeah. We're not looking at these patients like, oh my God, you got to do everything we say. If you don't listen to us, you're going to explode.
Yeah.
It's like, no, 80-20 principle. Yeah. This 100%. Kid is going to give us 60-40 probably this one. Yeah. 60% he'll give us what we want. Yeah. And then 40% he's still playing basketball. Like, Mom had to go get him a knee brace.
Yeah.
And duct tape it to him so that he would not play basketball at lunchtime to let the stupid thing heal.
Yeah. Yeah. But I also remember, because the dad, before all this was starting, was thinking like, hey, should we just get an image on the knee? Yeah. And after that day, I was like, hey, instinctually, if you wanted to go grab that MRI, 100% understand, because I'm barely touching this knee. Anything. Funny enough, they got the MRI, they brought it back, and I was pretty close to the diagnosis, but wrong and right at the same time. So it wasn't Osgood-Schlatter's, which was weird to me, but it was kind of the same process, but at the femoral condyle, so higher up. So it was everything in that growth plate area that was just irritated. And it's really bad growth plates, plus all the activity that I was doing. So it's mechanical and growth area type of thing.
And here, I have to say, the one thing, we talked about youth athletics in one of the podcasts before. Anybody out there who hadn't seen it or listened to it, please go check it out. I promise you're going to get something out of it. Yeah. This is like kids these days, and my sons and daughters go through it. I mean, I only got a lot of kids. I only got 3. My kids go through this too, where we're just texting before the podcast here. Because I got my kids doing a workout in the garage right now. Hopefully they all did it. I'm getting texts right now, probably them complaining. But they're swimmers. So their lower bodies are horrible. Yeah. Like my older son's 14. He's 6'3". If you were to watch him jog down the street, it's a baby giraffe on ice. It just doesn't look coordinated. Love him dearly, but we got to get that working. But kids these days are just so overtrained. Mm-hmm. And it's 100%. So hard, because if I told my kids you're not going to swim an extra day or 2 a week to give them a break, they're going to fall so far behind, they won't compete the way they want, and they'll start to lose the fun in the game. Yeah. And we talked about that in the podcast, just finding that balance. So this family, same thing. It was championships. Mm-hmm. I said nothing inherently is going to damage him. We can fix him after, but we're going to have to get him to calm down. But that's that overdoing it thing. So it's really challenging. And the more fun part we had with this, I love this kids. Yeah. These kids are my favorite. I love all kids, but these kids are great. We had to get him entertained enough in rehab. Oh, yeah. Yeah. To keep him focused without, which is really hard. If it was a shoulder, no problem. Mm-hmm. There's the lower body. We got a trampoline out there. I'll bounce for 20 minutes with that thing. That'd be great. I might play with that. But when it's the lower leg, it's not a bad rehab tool. Once, because of the impact, it softens it. But once he's but the lower leg, you're up to the upper body. So what did we come up with him?
So we threw. So we were kind of mean, but it was necessary.
It was applicable.
Yeah. So we threw BFR cuffs on him, and then we threw him on the assault bike.
I was with the client, and I was like, "That is just straight up mean."
Well, like, to Doc T's point, like, I love the kid, but get him to do something for like 15 reps, he starts to not focus after that.
Like rep 4.
Yeah. So
I'm losing him.
And like, we could go over like heavy technique stuff, but he'll do too perfect, and then he'll space off, which I can't blame him. Like, I was a kid too.
9, yeah.
Right. So he's not really thinking about the bigger picture of this all.
Oh no, he doesn't have a 30,000 foot view. No, he's got 5 feet.
He's got 5 feet in front of him.
If that.
And just you're below him. That's it. That's the only view is below him.
So I'm like, well,
sorry.
Yes, I am. It's not wrong.
I'm not tall either.
There we go.
Shoot.
But also at the same time, like, we have to challenge him enough where he has to focus a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
I was thinking about that too. Yeah. Just because we're here, why not?
Yeah.
On your butt, legs out, med ball, throw back and forth.
Oh yeah, I was kind of
Yeah, that's some ball tossing or something where he's feet are off the ground, but he can. Yeah. He has to pay attention. He can hit in the face. Yeah. Which his dad would probably just love.
Yeah. Well, his dad is also one of our old patients that will come in once in a while.
Yeah.
So, well, this is hilarious. You weren't here for this, but his dad was talking a lot of crap on him for the assault bike, and his dad's a big guy, former firefighter as well. So I remember he's like, check this out. So as his son got off the bike, finished that whole session, he adjusts the bike to his height. He's like, check this out, bro. He just rips it as fast as he can, and his son is just looking at it and he's like, I didn't know you could do that. He's like, oh yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. Despite people's beliefs, my ego is not that big. I swear to God, it's not. Yeah. But when my daughter and I got to work out together a couple weeks ago, and she'd never really seen me work out. Mm-hmm. And I will be honest, from a what is she? She's 10, 5th grader. 4'2". From her perspective, I jumped on the pull-up bar and started doing weighted pull-ups. I had 15 or 20 pound kettlebell in my hand or my legs, and I bust about 8 or 9 of them. Yeah, something. And I dropped, and she goes, oh, "Dad, you're strong. I didn't know that." Part of me was proud, and part of me was offended all at the same time. I was like, "Thanks, hon. What the heck? How did you not know?"
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun when Dad shows up and the kids are looking like, "Okay, yep, you're still Dad." Yep. That was the reason you're Dad.
So that was really cool.
That was really cool, huh?
Yeah, so we're having some fun with this. We have to get creative just because, you have to keep them entertained, but also get the same stuff in that you need. But I'm having a lot of fun because I'll do some of this stuff with him too because he doesn't think I can do it.
So it's funny when there were interns, I told them, and we have an intern now, Kiara, doing the same thing. I said, if you can't show them how to do this properly, it looks kind of bad on you. Yeah. So you might want to start practicing them a little bit, just so, when you illustrate, you don't want to look like you're totally a mess yourself. Yeah. So
it's fun. Like we did step ups at one time, just because I need just to get some of that motion in. But to make it fun for him, I put it on a metronome. So he had to keep up with the metronome.
Oh, metronome training's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That's what I did with that one. Yeah, he was behind, and I was keeping on pace, and I started talking a little bit. Then he caught up, and it was great. I loved it.
We might have to get some. You have it on your phone, huh?
No, I literally just put it up on YouTube.
Yeah, dude. We used to do it when I was a run coach. We do metronome training for running, for pacing. Yeah, it is fun. I do love it. It does keep you. Like I have to when I work out, I have to set a timer. It's a Tabata timer on my phone that dings every 60 seconds or 90 or whatever the rotation is. Otherwise, like I told these guys, this past weekend I was in here doing some video stuff and shooting some stuff, and I was going to work out too. I ended up being here 2.5 hours because there's other stuff to do around the office, of course, plus shoot the videos, plus try to get a workout in. Yeah. And I didn't have my timer set because if it dings and I'm shooting a video, then we have dinging going on. Plus I'm shooting the video with the phone that the timer's on. So I turned that off, and that's what happened. So I have to literally, I'm 9 years old still, apparently. I got to keep me focused well. How are you in the gym?
Yeah, I'm all right. I kind of fell off last week. I got 2 classes in and a rehab session in, but yeah, man, it's that work schedule and figured out as with our conversation last week. I'm definitely a morning person. Oh, nice. And it's crazy because I work a night shift.
Yeah, it makes it hard,
and so that it makes it a little hard to get the workout in. But I mean, like in a way, it's like no excuse. Got to figure out a way to move, and it's not like our job is that sedentary.
Yeah, you got to go Goggins on it, man. Have you ever listened to him talk?
Dude, yeah.
That is intensity times a million. I mean, that guy is.
I mean, I like Jocko too.
Jocko's good.
Yeah. Whenever like their thing in their team, whenever something bad happens, it's like good.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, you work the night shift and you can't wake up early? Good.
That's the best. I mean, when you think about it, because he came from a place that, it wasn't a choice. It wasn't like, I'm going to sleep in today, I'm going to hit the snooze button. Not in the world he was coming from. So he can come in and kind of lay that kind of, militaristic,
militant.
Like, that seems
militant?
mean. I like militaristic. Okay, cool. Militant sounds like a country.
At least you can say militant.
Militaristic. You knock it off there, mustache. We need more of those. Jeez. But yeah, when I heard that on, I think it was Rogan was talking about that when he did that, and I pulled it up and listened to it, and I was like, man, he's not joking. Like and I started thinking to myself, like, good. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Whenever things going south, like truly, you have the worst day of your life you can think of is still a pretty dang good day if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Especially
the world we live in. Especially here, yeah.
Where we live,
what we're doing, how lucky. I mean, we are lucky that we actually.
We're just doing this and sharing
dumb
thoughts.
Yeah, we actually enjoy. Like, there are days it's work. Like you get a patient like you had with the cancer, and that it's work. This is not games. I got to focus as a doctor right now. Do my due diligence, do my job, check the boxes, done. But you take a 9-year-old on the floor and throw him on I call them assault bikes.
I call them death bikes.
Aerodyne. You put his leg up and you crush that kid's soul with just going at it with the BFR on. That's fun. Yeah. And because you're helping him. You're doing something great with him. So, so we are very fortunate. But, I do like that too.
But, I heard you have a little program for me.
Oh, my goodness. You want to bring that up?
Yeah, so let's
I wasn't sure. He can be sensitive sometimes, so I didn't want to bring it up.
How dare you?
So if you go back, I think it was either 1 or 2 podcasts. Maybe 1 or 2. We were talking about a pull-up thing that you wanted to get.
Yeah, because I can
rep route.
Yeah, because apparently my deadlift is pretty strong, but my pull-ups are weak, and so it's a posterior chain issue. And now we have a program apparently.
Well, I go down rabbit holes. Yeah. More often. These poor kids sometimes they'll come in, and I'm like, I look at them like, oh shit, what does he have? And I've thought of 19,000 things I'm going to do now. So we had gone through that podcast, and I was working on a program for another patient, a pregnant young lady, who we're going to do some stuff to get her, keep her strong through the pregnancy. And as I was going through it, I'm like, okay, I got to work out a pull-up. Okay, she probably can't do them right now. When we do this and this. And next thing I know, I thought of Justin in the podcast, and I was like, oh, I could do this. And and then I put her file aside and then began working on Justin's. And so now we have a nice little weekly program he's going to do about 4 or 5 times a day. You're doing something. Yeah. So it's going to be involved. So the best part is, I love doing this. Now I have a doctor who's telling patients to do the rehab. So now we have a doctor that has to do his rehab. Yeah. And we're going to put it all over these podcasts and check in on them.
You know what we could do is we could just film stories on that.
Let's maybe do
film progress.
Do a little vlog.
I think a good sidebar on this one. Yeah, take it out there, have him rep out whatever he can do. Let's call it baseline, and check in every, let's say, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see if I can throw it in there with you too, just to be fun with it.
You want to do the pull-ups too?
I might as well.
Oh, because you guys want to challenge Doc T?
Because my problem, because I come from the powerlifting world, 3's perfect. After that, I'm like, I'm dying.
Yeah, like I did the pole day last week. Yeah. It's an AMRAP, and one of the stations was a deadlift. Yeah, and I got through like 4 rounds of 6, and I increased my weight each time. But like 6 at 225 is like, that's cardio, man. Even though that's like, I don't know what is like 60-ish% of whatever my 1 rep max is.
It get you.
225 pounds is 225 pounds at the end of the day. Yeah. Like, even though that's not close to my 1 rep max. Like,
but do the math. Yeah. You did 6 rounds of 6 reps or 4 rounds of 6 reps?
4 rounds of 6.
So 4 rounds of 6 reps, right? Mm-hmm. So 6 reps is going to be 450, 900, 1125 or 11. Yeah,
you're talking about total poundage.
Yeah,
total load.
Yeah, so you move like 5,000 pounds.
Yeah,
in 10 minutes.
When you think about, like, I used to do.
It's funny to think about.
When you break it down, like I used to do simple and sinister. Yeah. So I do 10 swings with my right hand, 10 with my left, on the minute every minute for 10 rounds. Mm-hmm. It was a 70-pound kettlebell. So that's 700 pounds in my right hand, 700 pounds in my left hand. So I'm saying 7,000 pounds per hand in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. I moved 14,000 pounds, and you're telling me you didn't feel like you did anything? It's like, you don't have to sweat in a pool of blood and tears, sweating your butt off and can't breathe to get a workout. Yeah. So it is funny, but you're like, that's nothing weight. But I'm like, but it's a lot of volume.
Yeah. It is.
It just stacks.
My coach is having me do a hypertrophy type of program right now for this block because I hurt my wrist the day that you left. That's a different story. When I had to come to the office, that was fun. But I hurt the wrist, so like we're kind of approaching it in like a rehab / we're not just gonna load it heavy. Let's do other things, right? So there's a lot more reps. So like one of these things, love you, Tommy, but what the heck, bro? It was 4 sets of 12 of a dumbbell type of bench. Gross. So it's like the 8's not bad. But once you get to that 12 range, I'm like, this weight should not feel like anything. But it feels like a ton is on my chest right now. This is only like, I don't know, 50, 60 pounds. But I am dying.
The funnest part of working with a weightlifter, Olympic lifter, is you throw them in that high rep area just for fun and do something a little different. Yeah. And just watch them implode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to rep 7. Like, keep going. You got 5 more. Like, no. I can't do it.
Because how it goes, because I'm a part of that world, it's like, 3, no problem. 5, 8.
3 to 5, we're done. Yeah. Then after that's cardio.
8's like, this is a little hard. And then all of a sudden, 12 is, this is supposed to be RPE 6. That's supposed to be hard.
60% of 1 RM, and I can't do 12.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that is very funny.
Yep. So that's where I'm going today. I'll probably do something.
So this gentleman, when you get to the pull-up part, this is what blew my mind. There are certain things that you're like this. He pulls 3 something, which are
335.
335. Mm-hmm. That's good weight. Yeah, that's a legit weight for sure.
Non-power worlds, that's very respectable.
Yeah. He's no Joe on the street kind of thing. Not that you're normal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To think of the fact that you struggle with pull-ups, my brain is like it's like a different language. I don't even understand how that's even possible. Which makes me think if we get your pull-ups up, you're hitting 4. You're going to get dang near 4 because that's a whole 25, 30%. Just clinically good. Your lats and your TL fascia, which is down like your low back area, connects the upper body with the lower body. Typically, like we have our buddy Kenny Leverage. Mm-hmm. So he's a guy he used to pull monster weight off the ground. Yeah. And you can see in his paravertebral muscles, so muscles going to the side of the back and everything, you could see the equal development with everything. Because the stronger and bigger he gets, they go together. So when you told me that, I was like, that's you're joking, right? You're absolutely joking. There's absolutely no way it's possible. So now when I started doing that's what got me down the rabbit hole. I was like, we're going to make him hit 4. He's pulling 4 bills. We're doing it. You're 400 pound deadlift. We're doing it.
Right, yeah, I'll join you because I'm a little bit at a little bit of a plateau. Right now. I'm at. I hate you saying the number. I'm just saying yours now, but I'm like, dude, I don't know what you need.
Just say it.
I'm at 530 deadlift. 530 deadlift. But
here's how you make it feel better. I'm at a 210 kilo deadlift.
Okay.
Or 240, 238, 240.
It's probably the 240 range, 240, 250.
Cute. Yeah, come on, metrics.
530?
530. Well, 529.9. I say 530.
Are you kidding me? 529.9, like the 0.1 makes a difference.
It does. You know what is that heavy?
240 kilos. Oh, we're pretty good. Yeah, 240 kilos. See, feel better. Yeah. You actually are pulling more number than he is.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
he's 335.
And he also weighs less than me. So
actually, at this point, we're probably the same.
Maybe.
I have to pull back a little bit. Gotta pull back a little bit.
Well, he was in his cut phase.
Yeah, I was, and then I hit the number, got happy, and I started eating a lot more. I was like, yes, here we go.
It's time to order some pizza.
So the number thing, right? This is a little side tangent. When we were at SoCal weightlifting, there's this one guy, insane, right? One of the last lifters of the day. So how they do it is by totals.
What a monster!
Yeah, this was a snatch, right? And I know,
Like, dude, it's not a drum.
it was a snatch, but once you did the math, it was about.
What my my deadlift was. It was insane. This guy's an absolute mountain.
It flew, hit it, stood straight up, no pause. I was like, how?
Like almost like a power snatch?
Yeah, just about.
Oh, it was sick.
Yeah, those people. I had a coach back in the day that I'd be doing deadlifts. I'd be like to 285.
Yep.
He's like, can I warm up real quick? I'm like, yeah. You want me to help get plates off? He's like, no, you're good. And just starts cleaning.
Demoralizing.
Like, and I'm talking like power cleaning, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. A couple more of those. Go ahead. Are you going up? Or are you good? And I was like, I'm doing deadlifts, bro.
I'm gonna leave.
You put the weights away. You're warming up. I'm off the platform.
Yeah, but I saw that. I was like,
some people are just freaks.
It's like, Justin, do you realize that's your max? And he just threw that up as his opener, not his.
Yeah.
It wasn't the last attempt. It was the opener.
So to what we were saying earlier, to our point earlier, that's fun. And even though it's humbling, it's still like, man, that dude's strong.
But also how loud the gym got when he came up and hit his top.
Yeah.
So sick.
Lose your minds, yeah. Because you can feel. I think that's the fun thing about weightlifting in general is you can respect what others, professionals, can do. Like you see, Derrick Henry throw a fridge on his back and start walking up a hill. You're like, I moved my fridge off the wall to clean. That was pretty tough. How where that sled push goes on that, I'm good. So it's still that you can appreciate. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But all right, stay tuned. I'm thinking December 31st, 400.
December 31st, 400.
Add the 5.
That's a lofty goal, Herb.
4 wheels.
I think it's very, very possible.
So yeah,
60, if you
got to find 60 pounds,
you got to maintain some consistency with training, which is always hard. But if you can, my little Goggins morning me like a Goggins ring or alarm clock. Get your butt up out of bed, go run.
If we're gonna do this, that means we have to
stay hard.
We just have to get a deadlift platform out here because
if you build, I'll buy it. You build it.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Actually, don't they sell them in pieces now?
Yeah, they do.
Almost like
I built 90% of this office.
Yes. No, G1 is the other 20% or so. I think the worst one was that. Remember that pipe thing we were going to put on, like hang things on?
Oh, that was a nightmare.
And to get it figured out and kind of attached to the wall, and then we're like, we're ditching this idea, and you're like, cool.
Nice. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So yeah, if you get it, we'll get it there. That's foam stuff. It's gonna be great.
Good old. I had an intern. I had him put something together here last year, ish. And the look on his face when I said, "Yeah, see that box? Yeah, I need you to put that together for me. Thank you." And went on to go see a patient. It took him a little while to realize it was serious. He was kind of like, "You're not joking." I'm like, "No, that's why you're here. I'm not here to make money. You're not going to help me make money, but you can help me give my time to do other stuff so you can put stuff together for me. So thank you." Yeah. Little things. Did you put anything together here? Desks.
I mean, I have put up the with David the other squat rack.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a couple things.
Did he let you help him?
Yeah.
That was nice of him.
Oh yeah.
He's very controlling when it comes to certain things.
No, that one, yeah.
Yeah, the microphones have to be put away this way, cables are that way, this has to be put there. And you feel guilty at the same time. You're like, I don't want to upset anybody. I'll let you do it. Yep. All right. We good?
Yeah, I think
we're going to wind this baby down. This was fun.
This
was a good one. I like this one. To everybody out there, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Got questions again, just go down in the box there, send us a message. We love topics. It actually helps us kind of go down these rabbit holes and inform you of more stuff. Stay away from the internet if you can, and actually hear from doctors who not just preach it, but do it, every day, all the time. So, we're out. I'm Doc T.
I'm Dr. David.
Dr. J.
See you guys next time.